Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Doyle, or Doyle for short, and I am joined again by my co-host,
Gentry. I'm the co-host.
Gentry is the co-host.
I am the co-host.
And today, come here to me. We're going to have a chat. We're going to have a little talk. We're going to have a little discussion. A bit of a round table, cross-screen discussion between me and you and you and me. And Gentry as well.
This is an intervention.
This is absolutely an intervention. We're back to the old schedule. Because Gentry can't make schedules, but that's okay.
I tried, okay?
We love him anyway.
Fucking tried.
I was like, okay, we should record on Thursdays for the episodes to come out on Friday. And she's like, oh, I'm working, I'm tired, I want to. Saturday's great. When we changed the schedule to Saturday, I don't think one episode came out on Sunday, like the new proposed schedule was. So we're going back to Friday because if it's not broken, don't fix it. Because it's not broken, so it doesn't need to be fixed. So you can't fix it, so don't. So leave it. Just drop it, okay? Jeez, stop talking about it. Anyway, follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on lackofwit at youtube.com. We are on youtube.com. Follow our Instagram, The Lack of Wit Show. I think. Is it The Lack of Wit Show? Twitter, and follow us on Twitch as well.
It's in the description.
You're looking at it. You're literally looking at the links, and it's in the description.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can't.
And on today's episode, we've got merch. Most importantly, ignore the title right now because we've got merch. We're probably gonna drop a link to the Teespring top of the description. I'll throw in a picture of me wearing the shirt. It's very nice. They order big. So
yeah,
order
they
a size
run
smaller.
really big.
So
definitely order at least a size smaller.
I don't think they ship until they've got 10 orders.
Yep, we have to have 10 orders. And we had 3, but then everyone canceled.
I don't think everyone's canceling. I think that's an error on Teespring's part. Because we've had I don't think
place
we've
an
had
order
3
and see
orders.
when it ships. It's a surprise. It's part of the fun.
One of our friends said that they ordered one and it shipped. And they said that it shipped, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Take a chance. It's just a little fun mini game. You order it and it might not arrive, but you know, we did warn you. But they are really cool, and once there are 10 orders, I don't see any feasible reason.
It's an all over print shirt. It's not just like our logo on a normal t-shirt. It is an all over print.
Yeah, we're gonna come up with some more subtle designs in the future, but this is for the proud Lack of Wit fan who wants to rep the merch in their day-to-day lives, like everybody should be. So yeah, there's that. There'll be some pictures. There'll be some modeling. You'll love it. It's great. You'll love it. Come here to me. We'll have it now. Come here to me. Come here to me now. We'll have a chat. We have a little chat now. Come here to me. There are pedophiles in the Smash Brothers community. That's the big story today. Over the past, 3 days, multiple high-profile Smash players, like proper, Smash players, have been. It's not like I played Smash Brothers Brawl because I rented it for the Wii back in 2008 type Smash players. These are like big names. Was it Cinepai, Taro, Anti, The Moon, D1, and Nario? That's 6. Nero. I don't. Nario?
Nero.
No, it's Wario. Nario. So it's like Mario.
Nairo.
So it's not spelled like Mario? Oh, yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter. Either way, we're coming at this from a non-community member's point of view. Neither myself nor Gentry are hugely involved in the competitive fighting scene, nor the Smash Brothers scene.
I have a lot of friends in it, but I never really super got into it.
I think the only game I've played is Brawl. I think I played Project M as well a little bit with a friend of mine. So I don't know any of these people. I played it on the
Switch. I played it a lot on the Wii. But I was never going to tournaments and shit. I
have no attachment to anybody in these stories, so there shouldn't be any bias. Neither does Gentry.
Yeah, like I said, I really have no idea who anyone involved in any of this is.
This is the big story right now, and I thought there was an interesting reoccurrence that I wanted to discuss. So basically, let me just give you a brief rundown of each of the scenarios. The first one that I saw anyway. I don't know if it was the first one at all. Was between a female Smash player who was 24 at the time and a young male Smash player who was 14 at the time. Cine Pie and Puppy or Puppy. I don't know how you pronounce it. Now this was consensual, quote unquote consensual, because you can't consent as a child. But they both actively participated, and he came out and he said, "Look, she emotionally manipulated me and made me feel shitty, but I was 14 and I kind of wanted it because you're horny little fucking shit at 14-year-olds. 15 is the horny age, so that's a fact. Scary, but it's a fact. So he came out and accused her, and they were basically they would hang out together at tournaments, and there's two recurring themes. One, where the fuck are the parents? How, I don't get it. These are 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds, of the oldest 17-year-olds who are hanging out with parties with middle-aged men and women at big Smash tournaments, seemingly unattended, no chaperone. It's a recurring theme that I'm gonna get around to. Just stay tuned. So basically, that was the first one I saw, and this was hilarious. Cine Pie's Twitter username was Cine Pie Heart Speak Up Heart, and after she was accused, you know what it was changed to?
Shut up.
No, it's hilarious. Cine Pie Heart Do Your Best. Heart. Oh my god, what the fuck? A girl named Shiva, who was 17 at the time, detailed her experience with a Smash player named Kitaro, who was an adult at the time in his 20s. I'm not sure what his exact age was. She was invited to a pool party by this guy and by a lot of big Smash players. They were hanging out and drinking, and she instigated the relations, and they had sex in a swimming pool. Now, she was instigator in this scenario, but as she was drunk at the time, and the other guy was a full-grown fucking man. So regardless if she instigated, you say stop. This is another thing that always fucked me up. How hard is it to just say nah, sorry, I'm good? What the fuck? It was, it's not gonna go any further. I read his apology. He was like, I'm sorry it happened. I was a bit dumb. Statutory rape. She was nearly 17. It was fine. She was 16 at the time, going on 17, I think. Or she's 17 going on. No, she was 16 going on 17. Oh, sorry. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't going any further than this, and they ended up having sex in a swimming pool. An anonymous person accused a person called Anti, the Moon, Kitaro, and D1. Now, this isn't... there was a limited amount of information on this. She basically just said that she used to hang out with these people, and she had sex with all of them. And she said that she was confused, and she said, I know that I was the one who wanted it, and I instigated it, but I still feel confused because I was so young. And then probably the strangest one was a guy named Captain Zach, accused, who was 15 at the time, accused another Smash player called Nairo.
Or Nairo.
It's
Nairo.
Well, you can't fucking decide what it's pronounced either, so...
Nairo. There's no Nario.
Nairo. It'd be Nairo.
That's what I was thinking.
Cairo is a C. Nairo, who was 20 at the time. Now, not only did Captain Zach instigate it, he later bragged about it to his friends. And the tweet longer was kind of disturbing. It's just really strange to think that this was a 15-year-old who was bragging about having oral sex with a fucking 20-year-old. It's just kind of disgusting. But yeah, again, he's a pedophile, and he committed statutory rape. Regardless of, he could be fucking this guy could be wearing a fucking billboard that says "Have sex with me, please." It's still statutory rape because they're too young to consent. Regardless, it's immaterial of everything else. As somebody who is supposed to be a responsible adult, you're supposed to know better than to have sex with children. It's bonkers, beggars belief. But all of these, as far as I'm aware, to my knowledge, they've all been instigated by the younger party. Actually, no, sorry, with the exception of Cine Pie and Puppy. Were all instigated by the younger party. And this, to me, opens up a door for the bigger problem here, is what the fuck are the parents doing in all of these scenarios? In every single one of these scenarios, where is the parenting? Because a lot of the times, for when you're a child that age, or when you're that young, the blame, when you go down that pipeline of blame, it will naturally roll back towards the parents, because at such a young age, they're so impressionable that this is the time where the parenting is most obvious. Where when these people make these decisions, the parenting is reflected through the course of their actions. Now, Gentry's going to say something while I take a sip of water.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
Gentry's not saying anything. So, what are your thoughts so far, Gentry, on this whole situation? As the Lackwit co-host, give me your opinion.
There's a lot of problems.
Talk to me.
There's a lot of problems. Why?
Like what? Talk to me.
Why are 14-year-olds wanting to smash 24-year-olds? Why is that? Why is that? Why? But then also, why is the 24-year-old going, okay, sure, I'll smash this 14-year-old? Have you seen a 14-year-old? They're fucking children.
The picture, like, it's uber depressing seeing the picture of Puppy when he was 14, because he was 14. Like, he looked 8. Like, Jesus Christ. It was now, that being, as far as I'm aware, the Shiva and Katario case and the anonymous person accusing those other 4 people were all full on. But the full Monty, like. But the Cine Pie and Puppy, as far as I'm aware, was only oral sex. And so was the Captain Zack and Ari. It doesn't make it better, but I just feel like I should clarify. When I don't see, like, another, and obviously the parenting is a big issue, because you haven't taught your children. You haven't sat down and properly been involved through the emotional course of your child's life. If at this young age they're deciding to make the decisions they're making, like as a 15-year-old, you shouldn't be like, I am gonna go out and suck this guy's dick. Like, I mean, let me just, like, it's not like, oh, I was in the moment and I was confused. This guy went to his friend on Discord, so I was like he was doing that fucking toxic Twitter stand keyboard smash stuff. And it was like, Saturday and Sunday I sucked his dick. And then his friend was like, yo, I was like, you guys are getting real touchy over there. Let me tell you about it. And then, like, he was so excited. He was so happy that he did this. Like, he was properly bragging. Now, I don't want to come across as I'm blaming the guy, the 15-year-old. Because as the adult in the situation, the other guy should have been like, get the fuck away from me, you fucking creep. But I can't ignore, at the same time, the decision this guy, Captain Zack, made. He actively wanted to do that. I don't know, for clout, because he seemed very impressed with himself in the tweet longer. I'll probably link all the tweet longers in the Twitter, the tweets and stuff as well in the description. Like, he was properly proud of himself. And you have to think that how did a child get to the stage where not only did he want to have sex with this person, he bragged about it. When I eventually have children, I want them to know better. Like, when I was raised, like, because I'm actually 18 now, guys. I'm an adult. Woohoo! Barely. I'm like the fetus of adulthood. I was never in a position where I wanted to make a fool of myself like this. I don't know if I was taught respect. Is it because I was spanked as a child? It's because I had self-respect for myself, but I never felt the need to try and do this. Like, I suppose I was never much in a position where this was applicable, but I never felt the need to go out and make a fool of myself like this. One of my big problems with this is like, these are large scale events. Like, these are big, like, I want to say like huge, massive, like thousands and millions of people, but these are relatively big. A lot of these situations occurred at proper Smash fighting tournaments.
A lot of them have thousands of people.
I know. In fact, a lot of them do. I don't know about, because I'm not.
I don't know about the
I'm
ones
not
I went
in
to.
the Smash.
But
community.
Evo's huge.
I wouldn't know.
I don't
think any of these happen at Evo.
Something happened with the guy who runs Evo. Apparently he's a
I don't know.
he's a shady man, but I heard about that today.
Hang on.
Sorry, I
The
I didn't make this. I didn't save it.
there was it's called Dreamland. One of them having that. I don't know anything about it, but apparently it's a Smash tournament. It looks like a fairly big Smash tournament. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of people, a lot of tournaments. So yeah, there could be hundreds of people, thousands of people here. And where I like, how the fuck do you ever be a 15-year-old where your parents aren't like, you're not staying with your parents? If I would never be able, like my dad, he told me, he said, look, he said, you're like, as long as you're not 18, you know, you can't do X and Y. Like, you can't just go off on your own and stay at the night at a hotel with like fucking strangers. But after he's basically like, when you're 18, you can do what you want. But until then, I'm responsible for you and what you do, and this would definitely be something that you can't do. But how the fuck did this guy at 15 years of age manage to sneak off to a fucking hotel room and stay the night with this guy in a hotel room at 15?
Yeah, at 15, at 15, I was going to Austin with college friends, but I had known them. And also,
didn't you have chaperones as well?
My chaperone was the vice president of the orchestra who signed a thing saying that he was responsible for me. My mom was this close to not letting me go, but she let me go because she trusted Victor, and she knew Victor would like keep me safe. So I got to go, but like none of the people there were creeps. And also, I knew everyone there. I had known them for, like, at least a year at that point.
But it's not even that. It's not even the friends aspect. Did you have an adult supervising you?
They were all adults. I was the only one that wasn't.
That's a little fucking creepy.
No! I was in a band with them. They didn't have any bass players.
That's a little creepy, but whatever.
I had known them for a year. They were good friends of mine.
Doesn't...
I had hung out with them. My parents knew them. They knew nothing was gonna happen.
I would absolutely never let one of my children go. Never. Not once. If there was a gaggle of, how old are these guys? And gals?
Between 18 and 20. I think Victor was 21 at the time.
Never. Not in a million years. Not a fucking notion. If my 15-year-old son or daughter was like, yeah, I want to go with these 18 and 20-somethings to perform somewhere. It's like, you will, my whole. I said, you fucking will not. I will bring you. I will pay for a hotel, and I will be in that fucking hotel room. And I'll drop you off, and I'll watch you perform. Not a fucking chance are you staying in a hotel room with fucking 18 and 20-somethings. That's creepy. Because it doesn't matter how well intentioned. These could be fucking Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses. It doesn't matter a fuck. All it takes is like the majority of rape and sexual assault happens to like from somebody that the person was already acquainted with. It was friends, family, partners. Not a hope. Not a fucking chance. Never.
They were good people. And even if one of them was bad, the others would have been so good that they would have stopped anything. It wasn't just me and someone else in a hotel room. It was like 4 people in a hotel room.
That doesn't make it better, Gentry. Gentry, they were good this time. It's not a good pattern of behavior. I'm getting a bit off track, but that's not okay.
It was...
What happened, that scenario is not okay. On principle. It's absolutely not acceptable. Like, this just shouldn't happen.
They couldn't have gone without me.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to share a hotel room with them. That's creepy weird and shouldn't happen.
I had my own bed. Because no one wanted to sleep in the bed with me.
Yeah, because you were a fucking child.
No. Celeste slept in the bed with me that one night, but then she left. That was Celeste.
That's not okay, Gentry. That is absolutely not okay. It doesn't matter. It could have been Jesus Christ himself. It doesn't matter. That's not okay. Your situation wasn't as bad as just letting a 15-year-old run wild on their own, but it's still really bad.
Like I had my mom with me at anime cons. Like, I think that was that was the first time that I have gone anywhere alone. Well, not without my parents. Like I've gone traveling since, you know, I turned 18 or whatever. I went to like Houston and stuff. I'll just go. But like at anime cons and stuff, when I was 13 to 15, when I was still going to them regularly for a while, my mom was there. She had a hotel room at one point. I had a bedtime.
Yeah, did you stay in you stayed in the hotel room with your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, whenever I went to conventions, it's been a long time. Great times though. It was my friend's dad was always there. He's a great guy. Really like him. Solid people. But we were never on our own. Although that being said, am I being hypocritical? Because it's not my... No, because I never stayed the night anywhere. I stayed the night at his house. It's like a sleepover. But I never, like, shared a hotel room. Am I being hypocritical? No, because it's not for fucking 20-year-olds. The ratio is different. It was more like a slumber party than staying in a hotel room where my parents are far away. I'm not being entirely hypocritical. I'm not.
There were 10 of us.
I'm not being hypocritical.
There were 10 of us, Andrew.
Yeah, but that doesn't... Yeah, but you were the only 15-year-old as opposed to 18 and 20-something-year-olds? That's weird.
They were college kids because they were in college because it was a college orchestra.
We're getting off track. Either way, those people are great people. I wish we talked more. Yeah, no 15-year-old should be going to a Smash event on their own where they're in a position.
Yeah,
to
Smash
sneak
events
off
are
and
just
suck somebody's dick.
They're just weird. You don't.
I mean,
you don't want to go to those alone.
There's a part in the tweet longer, sorry, where they highlight how like a hotel staff member was like, "You're very close to this guy. You're a bit, you know." If I was in that position, I'd say, "Get the fuck away from him." So here, let me quote. So we get in the venue again and get on the couch, and I lie on his lap because I was so sad, and he starts petting me. I wanted to cry, but I didn't. He go, "If there's anyone who can do this, it's you." I say, crying emoji. Okay, then some staff lady walked by and said, "Aren't you a little too low?" Like, cause he was lying on this 20-year-old's lap and he was 15. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm half Mexican, but like, my guttural instinct is like take off my shoe and start beating them with it. Like, get the fuck away from me, you creep. He's a child. Is this just like, is this acceptable? Am I just culturally detached? Is this just a thing that happens in America? No. How could some lady walk by and just go,
I mean, fine. Pearson was about to go to Pennsylvania this weekend.
Scooch up
without my mom or anyone. He's just gonna go.
It's just bizarre. It's bizarre. No. I'm not. I don't even want to say it because I'm traditional. Yeah, I'm very old-fashioned. I'm very old-fashioned now. I don't want my children having sex with 20-year-olds, and that's just the way I am. Just the way I was raised. Jesus, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. My father was raised the same way, and my mother was raised the same way. And sure, now we're in the one. My parents weren't having sex with children back in their day. I'm just saying. I don't get it. It's just. I don't know. It seems so bizarre that this is like. I wouldn't say like accepted, but so little was done, and the fact that these people actively pursued it as well. Like, that's just what? Like, and another thing, that was the most, I don't want to say most bizarre thing, but a really striking thing about the Twitlonger was the first line of it from Captain Zach was, "If you're a family member of mine, do not read this post. I am not ready to talk about this stuff with you. I don't know if I'll ever be." That's bullshit. That is absolutely bullshit. If you as a parent read that sentence and then stopped reading, you failed. Like, you've done something wrong. Your child should never be in a position where they can just, yeah, sorry mom, sorry dad. You can't read this. You can't read this grotesque fucking dramatization of how I had gave this 20-year-old a blowjob. Like, you as a parent should read it and sit down and go, listen, what the fuck's going on here? And another bizarre thing about it is he went pressing this guy for money. Like, what? Bizarre. Very bizarre situation. Either way, I feel like I don't have much more to add, so I'll surmise. These people are pedophiles and rapists. In all of these cases, they're not old enough. Most of them, they weren't old enough to consent in the first place. And in one situation, the other person was too drunk to consent. These people are rapists. And they are pedophiles. They are having sex with people under a reasonable age. And they should absolutely know better, and I hope the book gets thrown at them. As well, though, there is a societal issue at play here, and a lack of strong parenting, if that this scenario has occurred so frequently in such a close-knit community that it's not even that uncommon. Like, let me put it this way. Let's say Connacht Rugby team, 15 players on the starting squad. If 6 of those 15 people were caught having sex with underage people, like the team would be thrown out. Like, you just can't. This kind of behavior just can't go on. How the fuck can 6? When you do it, like, statistically, it's rare enough to be a high-profile Smash player. Like, there isn't many of them around. It's a specialization. And then to have 6 of the high-level players be accused of some sort of statutory rape and pedophilia. What? There is an issue at play here that's larger than the Smash Brothers community, and it's larger than these scenarios. This, I'm afraid, and I am properly afraid, isn't that uncommon with people this age. And I am properly afraid that that's the thing. I think that as a whole, we're not being strict enough with our children. I mean, obviously not my children, because I don't have any, because I'm 18. But as a civilization, as a race, as a people, we need to start being fucking more strict on our kids. And I know that we should, like, there's a fine line for everything, right? You should never be in a position where you're super restrictive on everything your child can do. But on the other hand, this 15-year-old should never have been in this position in the first place. Never. It should never have happened. They should have been responsible adults, parents in this scenario that was like, what the fuck do you think you're doing acting so promiscuous? A 15-year-old should not be this promiscuous, and neither should a 17. I'm not prude. I'm not a prude person at all. I'm not like, sure, you have to save the sex before the marriage because that's the way the church wants it. I'm not. But a 15-year-old shouldn't be acting this promiscuous. And it's a trend. It's a common trend how sexualized young people are. How sexually active these young people want to be. And it's not like, if you imagine it as an onion, let's use a Shrek metaphor, right? Because Shrek has a lot of life lessons to teach us. On the outer layer, you see the horrible statutory rape and these promiscuous fucking children on the outside. Then you peel back that layer and then you see parenting gone wrong. And then you peel back this layer and so you start to see that as a generation in this, they haven't been taught self-respect, dignity, and just common decency. Like I find it very hard on a personal level to empathize, or not to empathize, but to like put myself in this scenario where I would have done this at 15 years old. When I was 15, I was in a relationship with people my own age at 15 years old. I was never looking for men or women that were twice my age, 10 years older, or anything. Because I knew that was wrong, and that I respected myself enough to know that I didn't need that. Because there was a lot, you can sense that there's a lot of self-gratification, especially with this Captain Zach person, that they fed on that attention. They fed on that they were able to get away with this and to do this. There was a hunger for that in this person. On a spiritual and mental level, this person needed that attention. And I probably, because they didn't get it from their parents, so they felt they needed to lash out and deface themselves in such a way. And that I feel like this is a microcosm about everything, like for everyone else that age as well. Or not everybody else. But basically, to surmise, if you're a teenager, don't start pursuing sexual relationships with people that's much older than you. And if you're an adult, it's not that fucking hard to not be a rapist. You just don't have sex with children who can't consent. It's not fucking rocket science. If you're ever in a position to even consider it, don't remove that person or remove yourself from that situation. For God's sake, please. There should never have to be a point in our lives where we need to appeal to people to not have sex with kids. But unless Gentry has anything to add, that will probably wrap us up.
No, not really. You summed it up really well.
I have been Andrew Doyle. Buy our merch. Follow our social media accounts.
Please
I have
watch
been
our
Andrew
Twitch.
Doyle for short. Please watch our Twitch. That's another thing. A little side note. I want to do a little personal heart to heart. I'm not entitled to viewers.
Andrew
We're not
complaining
entitled to viewers. I get it. And I'm not going to beg or plead. You don't have to watch anything we make. You're not under any obligation to watch anything you make. And I'm never going to force somebody at gunpoint to watch everything we make. But I would like, and I can imagine that we would like, as content creators, some input as to make our content better. Some suggestions, please. And the last couple we were doing okay on Twitch, and then the last 3 streams consecutively, we have had one person watch us. And it's hard. Because as small creators, we are quite small. Not the smallest, but we are quite small. And I am conscious of this fact. But to put in a lot, like, I spent a lot of money. Like, in, what's the word? Context. In the context of the money I had, I spent a lot of it trying to get everything to the way people would want to watch us. And afterwards, our viewership dropped drastically. Like people just haven't been watching anymore. Please, let me know what we can do better. Let us know how we can improve the stuff that we make to make it more appealing to other people like yourself to watch. If you've even made it this far to the video. But if you have, please, I'm open to suggestions. I will listen to all suggestions to make our content better for the people that consume it. It's just on a person, it's I don't say heartbreaking, but it's very disheartening. For the longest time, my main goal has been to entertain people in some way. Like, I know, I think I mentioned this in the Q&A episode, that yeah, I'll pursue psychology as a career, but my passion is entertainment. I want to make people happy. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people think. And to look, just to see that the interest isn't there, it's hard. It is hard. It's sad. So if you have any suggestions as to make is to bridge the gap between content creator and audience, and to make something that you would want to watch. We want to take the time out of your day and the effort to watch something please let me know. I'll do my best. I have been Andrew Doyle, or Doyle for short.
I've been Gentry.
Have you?
Yeah.
You sure? When was the last time you checked?
No.
Okay. And the outro music will play